To all of you, our distinguished guests, participants of the UN Global Compact, we welcome you to this workshop. For a long time, business and human rights has been treated as a voluntary, good-to-have agenda. But we are understanding that this is no longer the case. So the UN Global Compact, as you know, is the world's largest corporate sustainability initiative, working to bring the collective voice and impact of the business community to advance our sustainable development agenda. And so through the Global Compact Network Kenya, which is the host for this meeting, we are working with all of you to translate frameworks like the UN Guiding Principles on Business and Human Rights and Kenya's National Action Plan into decisions that both boards, CEOs, managers can implement and can actually drive impact around. So for us at the Global Compact, together with the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights, we are committed to supporting you beyond this room with tools, peer learning platforms, and continued dialogue.
Your presence here signals something important, that business and human rights is no longer a peripheral issue, but one that sits at the heart of how responsible and competitive businesses operate today. Kenya has demonstrated leadership on the agenda. The adoption of the National Action Plan on Business and Human Rights was a significant milestone, not only for the country, but for the region. It reflects a clear recognition that sustainable economic development must go hand in hand with respect for human rights. Human rights due diligence is increasingly shaping participation in global value chains and in several key export markets. It is becoming a condition for market access. This shift is reflected in investor decision-making processes and in growing buyer scrutiny of supply chains, labor practices, and human rights risk management systems. We have been working with governments, national institutions, businesses, human rights defenders, and others from civil society across the region to support the practical implementation of the UN Guiding Principles. I would like to emphasize that business and human rights is not about adding another layer of compliance. It's about the strategic framework to strengthen how businesses identify, prevent, mitigate, and address adverse human rights and environmental impacts on people linked to their operations, products, services, and value chains. It's about building trust between employees, communities, and consumers. And ultimately, it's about positioning businesses to succeed in a rapidly changing global economy.
Over the past decade, Kenya has made steady progress in shaping a responsible business environment. Our journey began with a bold step, and I'm proud to recall that Kenya was the first country in Africa to develop a national action plan on business and human rights. Since then, 4 other countries on the continent have followed this example: Uganda, Nigeria, Liberia, and Ghana. The National Action Plan became a powerful conversation starter in the country. It opened a much-needed space for dialogue between government, business, civil society, workers, and communities. It clarified the responsibility of companies under the UN Guiding Principles on Business and Human Rights and brought coherence to a subject that was previously seen as voluntary or peripheral. Most importantly, the National Action Plan made it clear that respect for human rights is a core component of governance, competitiveness, and long-term business success. As we approach the end of the current National Action Plan cycle, we must take stock of our progress, the lessons learned, and what the next chapter of our national agenda should look like. I want to emphasize that a strong and responsible business environment is essential for Kenya's progress. It supports investment, it strengthens governance, it promotes fairness and social stability, and ultimately, it helps us build an economy where growth goes hand in hand with dignity, justice, and respect for every person.